Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Sarthak Show, where we discuss about tech, career, product and life. And today we have a very special guest with us, Mayuri. She's working as a SD2 at Flipkart. And today we will deep dive into her story, her journey, like what she did to become an ML engineer over there, and what are her experiences and work life projects and everything around that part. What can you do into move into this domain? And then there will be a good number of questions around if you are an SD1 and aspiring to become an SD2, what should the things that you look out for, what are the skills that you need to grab, and then how it looks like to be a part to be a SD2, and what are the responsibilities and things and a day to day looks like for you. So yeah, we will answer all these questions, and thank you so much, Mayuri, for joining in for this podcast and taking out time for us. So welcome to the podcast, and can you share a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Sarthak. It is truly an honor to be a part of this podcast today. I'm Mayuri. I am working as an SD2 at Flipkart. I have completed my bachelor's of technology in computer science and engineering from National Institute of Technology, Patna. I am since after graduation, I was working with a company called Sabre, which is in travel domain. It was a B2B uh, in the travel domain. And after that, I transitioned into a role of SG1 at Flipkart. So that is me.
Yeah, a wonderful short journey, but yeah, quite interesting. And we would love to know and go deep dive into what kind of projects or what kind of technologies or things that you are working on right now.
Sure. So currently, my projects revolve around machine learning products, basically. So they are really around facilitating the use of machine learning models. So basically, the ML models that we all know about that are so popular and used these days. So in order to facilitate their use in software development products, or in our software products, where you know in order to enhance the experience, let's say for the users, or even to improve the systems overall, there are many use cases where these ML models can come into picture. And to facilitate that, to leverage that properly, there is a bridge required, and that domain is called machine learning engineering. So having these products is simply having software solutions to the machine learning problems, which is basically scaling them, or ensuring the inference on top of them, or having the rate limiting, and all solving basically all the problems that are there around them.
Yeah, I think quite intriguing. And since you mentioned there's a bridge and it's amalgam of what a machine learning individual and an engineer could do. So would want to go into that, and how did you move into this domain? Like want to know all about that. Yeah.
Sure. So actually, it started in college. I got to, I basically bumped into this term, and I was like, what is this? What is machine learning? What is big data? What
Yeah.
do they mean by big data? And then I started taking a Coursera course, which I think everybody does, and that is a very good starting point for everyone. So I took a big data Coursera course, which was like 6 courses course. It was a specialization. I did that, and after that, I took up a few internships um, and research projects, and in different semesters under, they were like basically free internships, unpaid internships as they call them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I did them, and I was actually able to wrap my mind around this better after that. And then when I transitioned into this, an adult who was basically a part of this corporate world now,
Mm-hmm.
I was basically trying to look for opportunities where I could implement this knowledge. And at Sabre, I found an opportunity with respect to a project which was basically a third party project, but then we tried to implement an in-house solution, and for that I used it. And then after coming to Flipkart, it was a full-fledged exposure to this domain completely, where I was building a system from scratch.
Oh, quite interesting. I think that's a wonderful journey, and then a lot of hoops and ups. Uh, so yeah, since you mentioned what are the things that how you like, what are the expectations from this domain? Because this is, I think, a very new profile, and audience will be very interested to know what are the expectation or what is a job role looks like in this profile, in this career path.
So it's basically, as you said, the amalgam of software engineering and machine learning engineering. So you have, sorry, machine learning. So basically, you need to understand what are these basic concepts of machine learning. Like you have to understand what is a neural network, how does it work, in order to or what are the results, and how can we, ensure that the models are behaving properly. So there are, throughout the machine learning models life cycle, there are certain different stages, and for each stage you need a software engineering solution attached to it. For instance, when you're doing a data collection, in that at that point you might need a framework, or a platform where basically you will be labeling data, or creating bounding box for different types of, so whatever is your requirement, according to that you should be able to collect data there. Then there should be a training platform where you can go ahead and train your data. Then there has to be an inference platform where that is able to enable the inferencing for the clients from the model, and it should ensure that the model doesn't get choked, and all of those software related issues. And then also has to be alerting and monitoring, where basically you have to ensure that the model is as par, and if required you have to give a feedback loop and the stuff like that.
Yeah, I think again, it's a lot of things and responsibilities revolve around how you can optimize the models and how you can ship better products in terms of if they are machine learning models and everything. And then the the question that comes to my mind is like, if an individual like me wants to move into this domain, what are the things that I should need to learn, or where is the starting point for me? What are the resources that I can refer to? So can you shed some light on that?
Sure. So, actually, first of all, I would really like to take a step back and tell this, using your platform, that AI is a very big field, like physics or chemistry. It's an entire field, and machine learning is a part of it.
Mhm.
It's a part of it, but it's not the complete thing. There are other aspects, or other components to it as well.
Right.
Then in machine learning, as a part of machine learning comes neural networks, or different types of machine learning models. There are other models as well, but since we have the infra capabilities now, we are using neural networks the most. But that does not mean that neural networks is equal to machine learning. The same way that ML, machine learning, is not equal to AI. So they are all under each other. So like, then there's deep neural networks, which is basically a way of designing neural networks. So they have an hierarchy. They have a hierarchy. That is the first thing I want to clear out.
Right.
After that, I think there are a lot of good courses, as I was mentioning, on Coursera and at many different places. And there are very nice books as well, which one can refer. I think I can share the content with you if you would want. Uh, so use so like gaining the knowledge through these things would be great, but again, you need to find a problem which you will be solving using these. So basically, doing a side project along with your day to day would help you wrap your mind around it. And if you are not able to find it yourself, there are, just like for competitive programming, you have code forces or code chef. Just like that, we have for machine learning, we have Kaggle. So you can go ahead and try participating there to enhance your knowledge around it. And then of course at your workplace you can start looking for it. Or if you're in college, I think that would be the best place to start. You can go ahead and talk to your professors. I'm very sure there should be some professor who is working in this field in your college. So you can go ahead and talk to them about picking up a project under them. So I think that would be a good way to start.
Yeah, I think that's the best way. And I think one of the best thing that you mentioned right now is the hierarchy that people should understand. And taking on your analogy, like physics is a very big field, and that's how AI looks like. And when you're
Yes,
working on different things, it's like one part of it. So let's say you are
correct.
working in optics or thermodynamics and kinetics,
Mm-hmm.
then comes the laws of motion and everything, like which is like a small bit of
Correct.
that. So
Correct.
anybody who's mentioning I'm working on AI is just a very superficial way of saying I'm working on this part. You
Correct.
need to be very precise about what you're working on. And exactly that there are certain tools and websites that you can go and practice. As mentioned, Kaggle is one of the platforms where you should go and try and look what people are actually building models around, or what kind of like things happen when you are working in the ML segment, ML domain specifically. And I think this is how you would progress better in this path, as Mayur mentioned, that you need to grab basic concepts and then go and practice around it. This is the hard truth of the life, that you have to learn and then practice. uh,
Ah,
and thank God we have a platform for that, and then you can use that. So yeah. And just a heads up for the people who are listening in, and if you are new to the software engineering world and you don't have any experience or exposure to how tech actually works, I would like to mention that Newton School has started a new full stack development course, which you can join, which where you can learn everything from scratch, uh, everything about full stack development. There, and the link is in the description box below. You can check that out. And the best part of that is you don't have to pay any upfront fee. So it's a zero fee upfront course where you will gain the knowledge, work on multiple projects, build them, and then Newton School is again going to help you get jobs and placements at MNCs, startups, and other companies. So yeah, if you want to take that route and you want to learn more about the software engineering world as well, try checking the link in the description box below. And moving ahead, so maybe as you mentioned that these are the things that one should do to move in this domain, uh, and you have been doing then working on multiple projects in the real life scenario. So how does that work in your SD1 like projects? And then would want to know what was like how was your transition from SD1 to SD2 look like?
sure. So I think if I'll take, a a very small piece of it. When you're in SD1, um, the strongest pursuit that is expected of you, or which you really should be having, is execution. If you are great at executing, and by execution I mean that you have been given a, let's say, a task, and you are able to perform it well,
Mm-hmm.
that is what is expected of you. But if you really want to excel in your role, you always have to take a step forward. So before, like, this is something I always tell my juniors as well. You should always, and this was a great piece of advice I got from my seniors, so it's like a hand me down. So I would like to tell this to everyone, that before taking up anything, even a small task, it would take an hour of your time. First of all, understand and ask yourself, why am I doing this? And
Right.
if you don't have an answer to that question, before taking up the task, the first thing you should be doing is to understand, why are you doing that? How is it impacting the overall picture? What is the bigger picture? So once you start, asking such questions to yourself, you're really indulging more into the project. And when you are having all those steps, just not closing your tasks on time, and you're also getting involved, you will also try to understand how they are designing this solution.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing expected of you will be to design a solution yourself for a problem statement. Sometimes the problem statements are well defined, you have a PM to simplify it all for you, and tell you that you should be, this is what we expect. But sometimes the problem statements are very vague, and you do not know where to start and all. So there, this experience will help you when you know why were you doing certain things, and that experience comes into picture, and that really helps you to take it all up, and sit down with it and really scratch your mind and get out the solution of your system.
Yeah, I think one of the best advices, and I truly second that. I don't have any words again. So it's definitely the best part when you know why you are doing what you are doing, and if you constantly ask those questions, you will come up with better answers and everything. So let's say if some if somebody handed over your task and you do it, anybody can do that. You are an engineer, and at the end of the day, a main task of engineer is to solve a problem. So you need to know what the problem is. Maybe you can come up with a better solution. Maybe you can come with a suggestion that might your senior mentor or SD2, SD3 will be appreciating and would incorporate. But you should know first what is the actual problem that you're trying to solve. Whatever functionality, whatever things that you're working on, whatever project that you're working on, whatever you are building exactly, how it is going to impact, what is going to be impacted by that, what is the problem at hand we are solving. It is an internal problem or an external problem, or are we looking at from a different lenses altogether? Either that solution is not going to create 10 different problems for other people. So that's how the journey should start. And I think very well mentioned by Mayuri, like how asking the right questions will help you move to the solution very like faster or closer, and give you a elegant solution, elegant work method, and you just have to be more proactive in that sense. So yeah, I think very rightly mentioned.